Now we are going to study the word power Norman Lewis book, and this is one of the most important book for the vocabulary building. And here the words are basically told by etymology, and there is a lot of explanation for every word. So it really becomes very easy to understand basically what is the core essence of the word behind it. Okay, so we are now going to deal this word power made easy by every sessions. We will deal each and every session, and and it will be very much easier for us to means after this it will be really very much easy for us to just understand the various words, and this will be one of the unique videos that I will make in this entire YouTube you have ever seen, because I will be covering this as every this word in this video, in this book particularly, and it will really going to be beneficial for everybody who has ever thought to read this book. And you can just follow these videos to understand what is the basic here in this written over the books, and it will be really going to be beneficial. So let's begin the session one, not talking much. The session one of word power made easy. In this session one, we will be discussing about the various kind of personalities. So how to talk about personalities, these are all about the session 1 to session 3. The session 1 to session 3 deals only about how to talk about various personalities. Now, what are the preview? Written something is there to preview is what we will learn. What words best describes your personality? If you are now, we are going to learn this kind of thing. If you are interested solely in your own welfare, if you are constantly talk about yourself, somebody, dedicate your life to others, turn your mind inward. We are going to deal everything. Turn your mind outward. Hate humanity, somebody who hate women, somebody who hate marriage. What kind of personality is this? I lead a lonely, assure, austere existence. Okay, we will deal about this word AUSTERE. But if you really want to know right now, so let me tell. AUSTERE is basically a severe or strict, in a manner or attitude, stern, strict. Okay, you can pronounce this as austere. Okay, it's really not that much big. Let me write the meaning of this word so that in case you just want the meaning, you can get it. Okay. So this word is basically the meaning of this word is, I will write it here. It means that what does it means? It means severe, stern, strict, severe or strict in a manner. SEVERE, severe or strict in manner. STRICT, strict in manner. Okay, you can say which is stern. The synonym is STERN, stern. Okay, so we are going to deal these kind of things, and it will be really beneficial for us. Let's begin. This is a session one of the word power made easy by normal use. You might have heard, somebody who's always talking about himself, his achievements. Let us deal it. We will learn more about it. Okay, every human being is one way or another unique. Everyone's personality is determined by a combination of genetic and environment factors. Let us examine 10 personality. We will examine 10 personality types. Okay, one of which might be by chance be your own. That result from the very way culture, the growth of family background and environment interact with heredity, and of course, being not with the words but the ideas. So we are going to deal everything not only with the words, but our focus will on also be on the ideas. Okay, let's talk about ideas. So me first. If somebody is talking about me first, so these kind of persons, who are they? So means what what kind of personality who talks only about themselves or not? Your attitude to the life is simple. These kind of things are there in such kind of personality. You're simple, direct. You are simple, direct, and above board. Okay. Every decision you make is based on the answer. Every decision you make is based on which answer? I'm sorry for that. Okay. You make is based on the answer to the one question. There is one question that you make the decision. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Okay. What's in it for me? This is the main question that you just which makes you to um, basically which makes you to do something. What's in it for me? If your selfishness, greed, and ruthless desire for own self-advancement hurt other people, okay. If these kind of things, let's say that it is hurting other people, so you can say that that's too bad. This is a tough word, pal. What is the meaning of pal? Pal means friend. Dog eat dog and all that. I for one am not going to be left behind. This kind of personality means your some kind of attitude is like that. That although this kind of thing, although you are simple, direct, and above board, but your every decision is based on this, what is in it for me. Such kind of personality is known as egoist. So these persons are egoist in nature, which always ask about what's in it for me. So this kind of personality you have come across as an egoist. The height of conceit. Do you know conceit? What is conceit? Yes, you might be. Conceit is basically conceit. Conceit. It means that excessively proud of oneself or vain. Okay, if you have you are such kind of person, if you have a lot of proud in yourself, oneself, narcissistic. Okay, vain. So this kind of things is known as conceit. The height of conceit. The height of conceit. Okay, what does this conceit means? Let me write it. Conceit. The meaning of conceit. Conceit is something like, say, if you have excessively proud, excessively proud of oneself is called conceit. Okay, excessively proud of oneself. The other synonym of this is narcissistic. Narciss, narcissistic. Okay, in Hindi you can say abhimani. So this is conceit. Now let's see. Now let's see. Have you heard about all the money I am making? Okay. Did this kind of personality talks like that? Have you heard about all the money I'm making? Did I tell you about my latest amorous conquest in something you have achieved? Let me give you my opinion. I know because I'm an expert practically in everything. You are a boastful at the point of being obnoxious. Obnoxious means very bad. You have only one string to your conversational violin, namely yourself, and you on it you play a number of monotonous variations. So this means if you are just talking about yourself, your achievements, what you have, what you don't have, what you have done, what you have done, how good you are, how good you are, okay, how good you are, and how you would solve the problems of the world and other. This kind of ad nauseum. Ad nauseum, you understand ad nauseum? Of course I do. Ad nauseum means basically ad nauseum is something which is used to refer the fact that something has been made or repeated so often that it becomes annoying or tiresome. Okay, ग्लानि होने तक आप किसी बात को बताते रहें blah blah blah. So this is called ad nauseum. Got the point? Means you are excessively talking about something, repeatedly talking about and excessively. Okay, so this kind of personality is called an egoist. Here T word should be noted because he talks so much about itself. So this T word, its T word is quite of importance. So this is called an egotist personality. Okay. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. This kind of personality is known as egotist and egotist. Now, next thing, let me help you. Let me help you. This kind of personality, next type of personality is let me help you. Who is saying let me help you? Actually, you understand this. Try to understand it and you will understand. You have discovered the secret of the true happiness. Okay, you have discovered the secret of um, true happiness. We should make it either which color should be suit best. Okay, orange is also good, pink is also good, everything is good. Okay, you have discovered the secret of true happiness. Okay, yourself with the welfare of the others, never mind your own interest. How the next fellow getting along. Okay, such kind of personality is known as altruist. These persons are known as an altruist. Got the point? Altruist means if you are interested in only the welfare of the others, no matter, never mind your own interest. So this kind of personality is known as altruist. Got the point? Now next personality is leave me alone. Okay, another kind of personality leave me alone. Like a biochemist studying a colony of bacteria under the microscope, you minutely examine your every thought, feeling, and action, probing the futile questions like what do other people think. If you are such kind of people, you are just thinking what others will do, what others will think, and all that, so much of stuff. So, what do other people think of me? मेरे बारे में क्या सोचे? How do I look? Am I looking good? Am I not looking good? How do I look? And maybe I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. You are constant nagging companions. You and are your constant nagging companions. For you are unable to realize that the other people do not spend as much as time and energy analyzing you as you think. So 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 it means you don't understand this. You do not means other people really don't take so much of time to spend on anybody to think what other think, what others behave, how this is not very much or because everybody is busy kind of thing. So this kind of personality have such attitude that he thinks that what will others say or what other how do I look, what will other think about of me. You have read it. So basically you have read it. What would other people think of me? So this kind of personality, how do I look? How do I look? Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Okay. So you may seem unsocial, yet your greatest desire is to be liked and accepted. Okay. You may be shy and quiet. You are often moody and unhappy, and you prefer solitude or at most the company of one person to a crowd. Okay. You have an attitude for the creative work and are uncomfortable engaging activity that requires the cooperation with the other people. So you may be a genius or eventually turn into one. So this kind of personality. So this is known as an altruist person. Sorry, an introvert because he is always thinking about himself. Altruist have already did, which deals with the welfare of others. Now we are dealing with introvert kind of personality. In this personality, the person is kind of thinking about himself and his turn. We will deal about the word more detail. Why this word? What does this mean? But for kind of sake, you can understand this personality is called an introvert personality. Okay. Now let's do it together. You might have heard the word let's do it together. Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together. You would be a you would be a great as a teacher. Okay. Sometimes what happens, you would be a great as a teacher, counselor, administrator, insurance agent. You can you can always become interested You can always become interested, sincerely, vitally, vitally, yes, actively you're interested in other people's problems. You are in the life of the party you never worry, because you never worry about the effects of your action. Means what will happen, let it be happen. Just just keep on moving. Don't worry. Okay. You never invite yourself with the doubts about dignity or or propriety. You understand propriety? Yes. You never inhibit means you never stop yourself. Propriety, PRI. Yeah, propriety means I think it's basically conformity. We can say decorum, respectability, decency, correctness, appropriateness, auchitya, upyuk, upyuktata. Okay, so this is propriety. So you doesn't worry about all these things. Just you do what you do. You doesn't think about what other will think, what will happen. Oh come on, what will happen? It will happen. So this kind of personality are usually happy, generally full of high spirits. You might have seen this one. You love to be with the peoples, lots of people. Your thoughts, your interests, your whole personality are turned outward. And such kind of persons are known as an extrovert. Okay. So these kind of persons are known as an extrovert. Now let's say neither extreme. Let's talk about neither extreme. Somebody who are like that, most of the people might find themselves in this kind of personality. Let's say who is there in this. You have both the introvert and extrovert tendencies at different times. Okay, you have such kind of personality at different times. You both have introvert and extrovert personality at different times, and on different occasions your interests are turned in and out. In sometimes it is in or sometimes it is out, about equal proportions. So both inward and outward. Indeed, you are quite normal in the sense, yeah, that your personality is like that of the most people. So this kind of personality is known as an ambivert. This personality is known as an ambivert. Got the point? Neither extreme, an ambivert. People are no damn good. Some people think that nobody is good. They have their own life. That means they have own mentality. Nobody is good. Oh, nobody is helping me. Nothing is going good. Like this, okay? I don't have so and so. Cynical. What is cynical? You can say we have heard this word cynical many of times. I will tell you the detailed meaning of this word cynical. Cynical means believing that people are motivated purely by self-interest, uh, distrustful of human sincerity or integrity. Okay, cynical means somebody who thinks that means cynical generally has a very bad outlook on life. Okay, concerned only with the one's own interest and typically disregard um, accepted standards in order to achieve them. Believing that people are motivated purely by self-interest. Okay, this is cynical. Means if you think that somebody is doing something, it is for his self-interest. Okay, so these kind of things comes. It's called the cynical. Do you understand? Yes. You can get some of the synonyms of cynical. You can say CY and cynical synonyms. You can say skeptical, contemptuous, but the word cynical is itself cannot be that kind of synonym is not that much good for it. Let me tell you the correct meaning of cynical. Cynical is basically, let me have this meaning over here. I want it to be more or less. Accent should be straight. Okay. Times New Roman is then 5 is good. You think that you believe that Beliving, believing that people are motivated purely by self self interest. Okay, this kind of personality is called cynical. I want a little bit much bigger. Just a second. I have to go to the text. It should be quite 7. Okay, so this kind of what is embittered? Embittered. Okay, I will tell you embittered as well. Embittered. Embittered means angry or resentful at having been treated unfairly. Embittered. It's an adjective. Okay, cynical तो कहीं ना कहीं सनकी होता है. Okay, cynical सनकी. Embittered. You understand the meaning of embittered? Embittered is basically angry or resentful at having been treated unfairly. Okay, angry or resentful having been treated unfairly is called embittered. So, embittered, have a look this word embittered. Just a second, brother. Embittered, na? Just a second. I want something better than this. Advanced. What is this here? Okay. Passage should be full and but this is what I wanted. Okay. What is embittered? You can move it over here. Okay. Now embittered. We are going to deal what is embittered. Embittered is basically embittered. You can say that angry or resentful at having been treated unfairly. This is embittered. Suspicious. Suspicious who means always who is always in suspicion. जो शंका करता है. Suspicious means something which is having or showing a cautious, distrustful, someone very unsure, doubtful. Okay, this is called suspicious. You understand suspicious? Yes, suspicious is a very common word. Okay, you want to know? No, there's nothing to know about suspicious. So let's deal ahead of this. We were engaged in some of the important words. Cynical, embittered, suspicious. You hate everyone, especially but never admit it yourself. The perfectibility of the human race. Nonsense. No way. This can't happen. The stupidity, the meanness, and the crookedness. The crookedness of the most mortals. Most probably all. That is your favorite theme. Everybody is this, everybody is that. People are crook. So this kind of personality is a misanthrope. Okay. This kind of personality is some kind of misanthrope. Now let's go and we will deal one more word, which is really somebody has this kind of feelings. So let's deal it. Women are no damn good. Okay, women are no damn good. You might have heard that women are no damn good. Somebody may say women are no damn. So what is here? Sometime you in your dim past you were cross squandered deeply. Sometime in your dim past you were crossed, scorned, or deeply wounded. Okay, deeply wounded by a woman, a mother or a mother figure perhaps, and somebody who might it be. So now you have carefully constructed a defense against the further hurt. Okay, you hate all women. So this kind of personality is known as misogynist. You hate all women, so you are a misogynist. Marriage is an institution. Somebody thinks that marriage is an institution, and who wants to live in the marriage is an institution, and who wants to live in that institution? People do have such thoughts. We have the latest examples why we comment on anybody else's life, but this kind of the thoughts always are there with somebody. So you will not make the ultimate legal commitment. You are not ready to make any legal commitment. Okay, ultimate legal commitment is not possible. Members of the opposite sex are great as lovers, roommates, uh, apartment, or the house shares, but as lawfully wedded spouses, but not as a lawfully wedded spouses. Okay, so because members are good as everything, but they should be not as a lawfully not as the lawfully. And this kind of thinking is for the persons who think that the marriage is an institution. Okay, bind are too binding. The ties that bind are too binding. You may possibly believe that, possibly believe, and possibly for yourself be right that a commitment is deeper and more meaningful is available without judicial proceedings. So this kind of personality who don't believe in such kind of marriages, so this is a misogamist personality. This is a misogamist. Now let that the flesh here to deal it. Now we will deal what is that the flesh is here to. You know meaning of here? H. We are not talking H E. We say like that. A person legally entitled to the property or the rank of the another person after their death. Successor. Higher. You say higher. Here. Higher. Higher is the better word for this. Okay. So who was successor? You can say successor. Okay. You can just it is a noun. And if you want to have this word meaning, I will tell you controls. So this is some kind of I will have to insert a text. We'll write this meaning. A person legally entitled to the property or rank of another on the that person that you can say inheritor. The other word is inheritor और successor वारिस उत्तराधिकार पाने वाला है ठीक है that the flesh is a higher to just listen it what it's saying you will understand what is the true essence inside this particular word. Okay, self denial austerity. What is austerity? Just listen it you will understand. And if you want to know the word meaning austerity I will tell austerity. Austerity is basically sternness or severity of a manner or attitude. Okay, severity, strictness, seriousness. Austerity, sternness or severity of a manner or attitude. Okay, or you can say the difficult somebody's restraint, moderation, economy is also sometimes austerity. So austerity is a noun which means sternness, and we will have this word meaning. Just a second. Austerity, na? We'll have this meaning right now. First of all, let me have the proper space for it. Austerity. Just a second. Just a second. Now let me have this text. Any other color you want for the text? You go to the basic, you will understand. It's all right. That is also a good thing. This is also green. Green is also sunshine. It is already green. Take any color. It doesn't matter at all. Let it be red itself because it is more appealing. Sadness or severity of the manner or attitude. Self-denial, austerity, lonely contemplation. What is contemplation? The action of looking thoughtfully at the something or for a long time. Chintan. Because the chintan is the best word for contemplation. Self-denial, austerity, lonely, lonely contemplation. Contemplation, I will tell you the meaning of. Those are the characteristics of the good life. You believe that these are the characteristics, so you claim the simplest food. So you claim what you claim? You claim the simplest food, the least amount of it that will keep body and soul together, combined with the abstinence from the fleshly earth pleasure will eventually lead to a spiritual perfection. That is your philosophy. Okay, here contemplation, you understand contemplation. The action of looking thoughtfully at something. In the examination, inspection, observation, thought, meditation, contemplation. Deep reflective thought. It's called contemplation, deep reflective thought. Okay, contemplation you can say deep reflective thought. So let's write it somewhere. Don't worry, this kind of things happens. What is contemplation? Contemplation is the action of looking thoughtfully at something for a long time. Just have this word here. The action of looking thoughtfully, thoughtfully at something for a long time, for a long time. So contemplation, chintan karna, chintan manan, contemplation. Okay, examination, deep reflective thought, deep reflective thought. Okay, the simplest food, the least amount of it will keep your body and soul together, combined. Abstinence, any heaviest abstinence meaning. Abstinence मतलब the practice of restraining oneself from indulging in something typically alcohol or sex. सही है. Temperance, sobriety, abstination, संयम, परहेज, abstinence. Okay, abstinence. Let's have this word abstinence. पंखे चालू कर दो मम्मी. कितना टाइम हो गया है? Abstinence. Abstinence is temperance. 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 Okay, this is temperance. So this kind of personality is known as ascetic. And ascetic, ascetic, ascetic. Okay. You have been introduced to the 10 words. We have been introduced with the 10 valuable words. What were the valuable words? First word was an egoist, an egotist, an altruist, an introvert, an extrovert, an ambivert, a misanthrope, a misogynist, a misogamist, and a ascetic. Using the words, you have been introduced with the 10 valuable words. But in each case, as you have noticed, just a second, you have been introduced to the 10 valuable words, but in each case, as you have noticed, you have first considered the ideas of this word represent. Now say the words in words, each one is spelled phonetically so that you will be sure to pronounce it correctly. So say each word aloud. This is the first important step of the complete mastery. As you hear the word in your own voice, think of its meaning. Are you quite clear about it? If not, reinforce your learning in the given paragraphs. Okay. So they are just trying to tell you the how it can pronounce egotist. E give the more means stress on E, then go ist, egoist, egotist, altruist, introvert, extrovert, ambivert. Now, misanthrope, misogynist, misogynist, ascetic. Now, can you match these things? Can you match it? Of course, let's match it. Who is egoist? Then, without seeing anything, just can you match it? Of course, let's try it. Egoist talks about accomplishments, does not pursue pleasure. What is egoist? Turns thought inward. Ego. Introvert, turn thoughts inwards. Hates marriage, misogynist. Misogynist hates marriage. Talks about accomplishment. T. Egotist. Hates people, misanthrope. Does not pursue the pleasure of flesh. Who does not pursue the pleasure of the purses? Ascetic. Ascetic. Is interested in the welfare of the others. Is altruist. Believes in the self-advancement. Believes in the self-advancement. Who is that kind of person? Hmm. Who believes in the self-advancements? Only self-advancement. Egoist. Turns the thought inwards. Introvert. Both inward and outward. Both inward and outward. Ambivert. Hates women. Somebody who hates women is misogynist. Okay. And turns thoughts outward is extrovert. So these were all. You can say that everything is. You can say that correct. First, first G, second C. Do you understand the words? Now that you are becoming more and more involved in these 10 words, find out if you can make an immediate appeal to your understanding. Here are 10 questions you can indicate quickly. Is an egoist selfish? You have to answer yes or no. Okay, you have to answer yes or no. Let's say, hmm, what you want now. You just tell me. Is an egoist selfish? Just underline it. Just underline it. No, nothing more required. Okay, okay, I will underline, but with a you can say the orange marker is. Yes, is an egoist selfish? Yes, an ego is selfish. Is modesty one of the characters of the egoist? Is modesty one of the characters of the egoist? No, no, modesty is not the characteristic of egoist. Self advancement is the characteristics. And what other characteristics? Thinking about self is an altruist selfish? No, altruist not selfish. He thinks about welfare of others. Does an introvert pay much attention to himself? Of course, an introvert pays a lot of attention to himself. Does an extrovert prefer to solitude to companionship? No, 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 no. Extrovert is always like companionship. Are most normal people ambiverts? Of course, normal people are ambivert. Does misanthrope like people? No. The people who doesn't like mankind is a misanthrope. Does misogynist enjoy the company of the women? No. Misogynist doesn't enjoy the company of the women. Does ascetic lead a luxury life? No. Ascetic lives the life which means which away from the fleshy desires. Does a misogamist try to avoid marriage? Yes. The misogamist try to avoid. The, does a misogamist try to avoid the marriage? The answer is yes. So this was all about. So you can check yes, no, no, and then yes, no, yes, no, 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 yes. Okay, this was all about it. Can you recall the words? Less. We will recall it. Who lives? Who lives lonely? Uh, you have. I have told you this word. Austere. In the previous sessions, I have AUST. You have told. When I was dealing with ascetic, I have told you the meaning clearly. An ambivert, misanthrope, misogynist, ascetic. Look. Austerity, sternness or severity of the manner or attitude. Look, I have told this one. Okay, sternness or severeness of the manner or attitude is called austerity. Understand? Sternness or severity of the manner or attitude. Austerity. Now you have to fill these things, whichever color you want. Aseptic. First word is ASCTIC, aseptic. Just a second. Come on. SCETIC, aseptic. Okay. You can write the complete word. You can write ASCETIC, aseptic. What is this kind of personality? Um, which personality? Whose interests are turned outward? Extrovert. Extrovert. Okay. And who is supremely selfish? Egoist. Who hates people? Misanthrope. Misanthrope always hates people. Who hates people? Misanthrope. Misanthrope. T-H-R-O-P. Misanthrope. Whose interests are turned both inward and ambivert. Ambivert you can say. A-M-B-I-V-R-T. Ambivert. Okay. Who is incredibly conceited? You know what is conceited? Who is incredibly conceited? Conceit. Okay, we will deal this later. Who is more interested in the welfare of the others? Altruist. Altruist more interested. Altruist. A-L-T-R-U-I-S-T. Altruist. Who hates women? Misogynist. Misogynist hate women. Miso G-Y-N-I-S-T. Misogynist. Whose interest turned inward? Introvert. Who hates marriage? Misogamist hates marriage. Misogamist hates marriage. Okay. Who hates marriage? Misogamist. Misogamist. Okay. So we were this word who is incredibly conceited. We have dealt so much of word. Ascetic, extrovert, egoist, misanthrope, ambivert. Who is incredibly conceited. Conceited of his own thoughts, isn't it? Egotist, you can say. Of course, egotist. No else word is there. Egotist. Look, egotist. Egotist. So let's match it. Ascetic, A-S-C-T-I-C, ascetic. And extrovert, egoist. Then misanthrope, ambivert, egotist, altruist, misogynist, introvert, misogamist. So this was the end of the session one of the word power made easy. And thank you very